Vande Mataram friends. Today we learn about question tag and it is very easy and interesting topic for you. Question tags are short additions to sentences asking for agreements or confirmation. It is commonly used in conversation. When we try to speak with one other person, at that time we use question tag. For example, he is a clever boy. He is a clever boy. Isn't he? जब हम किसी को बोलते हैं कि he is a clever boy, उसके बाद जो बोलते हैं isn't he, बराबर ने ऐसा कुछ वर्ड्स आता है, ठीक है ना? तो ये क्या है? isn't he वो क्वेश्चन टैग है. इन क्वेश्चन टैग, इफ द सेंटेंसेस आर इन पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस, वी हैव टू कन्वर्ट इनटू नेगेटिव सेंटेंस. एंड सपोज द सेंटेंसेस आर नेगेटिव सेंटेंस, देन वी कन्वर्ट इनटू पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस. फॉर एग्जांपल, शी इज अ गुड गर्ल. शी इज अ गुड गर्ल. शी इज, सो इजंट शी? Another, she is not a good girl. She is not a good girl. Not. So is she? So when asking for agreements or confirmation, and it is commonly used in conversation. So when we start question tag, first of all you have to remember the notes. Question tag always begins with small letter. First of all, small letter. Question tag mark is used at the end. Question tag mark used at the end. This kind of mark. Another, the subject of the question tag is always a pronoun. Okay, for example, Rahul is a good boy. So Rahul, what is the pronoun of Rahul? He. So how I use? Rahul is a good boy. Isn't he? Rahul is not a good boy. Is he? So first of all, question tag always begins with a small letter. Another thing is used at the end. Question tag mark always used at the end. And another thing is that the subject of the question tag is always a pronoun. Rahul means he. Sheetal means she. There is a comma after the statement. The shortest form possible, not. So we remove here not. So is used. For example, the statement and question tag. If the statement is positive, then question tag negative. If the statement negative, question tag positive. So how to use the verb to be form or helping verb? First of all, we concentrate here. The first rule is to be form. If the statement contains a form be, use the same verb. For example, Emmys are given, so you have to use Emmys are. Was were given, so the same verb, helping verb, you have to use it. Another form, have. Have means, to have means have, has and had. If there is supporting verb, use the same verb. If the supporting verb have, has and had given, so don't miss it. You write have, has or had. So first of all, to be form. Second one, to have form. And the third one, to do. If there is verbal verb, use the same verb. If the verb is given do, does or did, so don't miss it. You write do, does or did. And the fourth one, modal auxiliaries. Use the same verb, shall, will, can, could, may, should, would, must, might, ought to, etc. So these are modal auxiliaries. So 4 things you have to remember: the to be form, to have form, to do form, and modal auxiliaries. For example, here I have given you a small chart. If the sentence is about positive, and when you are going to make question tag, at that time you use negative. If the sentence is in negative sentence, then you convert into positive sentence. For example, but here you can see that only one to be form I have written in red line. For example, I am a teacher. So most of the students write the answer, amn't I? But please keep in mind, when I use I am, then you have to keep in mind that aren't I. We never use here amn't. So please, I am, aren't I. The same thing, negative into positive. I am not a teacher. I am not. So we cannot say that are I, but here we write the same. I am not. So you write am I. First of all, dear friends, we focus on positive into negative. So I am, aren't I? We are, aren't we? You are, aren't you? They are, aren't you? He is, isn't he? She is, isn't she? It is, isn't it? So here I use is, so question tag is isn't, and suppose right here are, so aren't. Same thing in negative into positive. I am not, so am I? We are not, are we? You are not, are you? They are not, are they? He is not, is he? She is not, is she? When there is a negative sentence, then at that time you have to remove not. Okay, dear friends. Another, the past to be form. I was, wasn't I? You were, weren't you? We were, weren't we? They were, weren't they? He was, wasn't he? She was, wasn't she? It was, wasn't it? The same thing, if the sentence is given about negative sentence, you write down positive. I was not, was I? You were not, were you? We were not, were we? They were not, were they? He was not, was he? She was not, was she? It was not, was it? Okay, that is to be form of past tense. Now, to have. I have. So you can write haven't I? We have, haven't we? You have, haven't you? They have, haven't they? He has, hasn't he? She has, hasn't she? It has, hasn't it? The same thing, if the sentence is about negative. I have not, have I? We have not, have we? You have not, have you? They have not, have they? He has not, has he? She has not, has she? It has not, has it? Okay, dear friends, clear it? First thing is that if the statement is positive, you write it as negative. If the statement is negative, you write it as positive. First of all, these 4 things to keep in mind: to be, to have, to do, and modal auxiliaries. So please, you write it down in your notebook. I know that it is very easy and I have written very long, but we have to repeat only once. At that time it is not necessary to remember the long thing. Why? Because if we focus only one time, then it is not necessary to repeat again and again. Next thing, here about now have and had, to have form. positive, negative, negative, positive. I had, hadn't I? We had, hadn't we? You had, hadn't you? They had, hadn't they? He had, hadn't he? She had, hadn't she? It had, hadn't it? I had not, had I? We had not, had we? You had not, had you? They had not, had they? She had not, had she? He had not, had he? It had not, had it. So, but here these two things, please focus here, because the first sentences are about the present tense and this one past tense. So you cannot see here to be form, to do form and to have form. That means you cannot see here am, is, are, was, were, have, has or had. So first sentence, see that if I say I work hard, I work hard. So work is verb, and which tense you use here? Present tense. So you cannot see I am work, I was work, only I work. So when we try to make negative sentence, we use here don't I. We work, don't we. You work, don't you. They work, don't they. He walks, third person singular, doesn't he. She works, doesn't she. It works, doesn't it. So I, we, you, they, at that time we use do, and he, she, it, that is a third person singular, so we use does. If the sentence is positive and when you are going to make question tag, the sentence may be make negative. So suppose the sentence is negative, I do not work, do I? Barabar ne? We do not work, do we? So when the sentence is about negative, so you remove not. They do not work, do they? He does not work, does he? She does not work, does she? It does not work, does it? So in simple present tense we use don't or doesn't. Now past tense is given, use did. For example, that is positive sentence. I worked, didn't I? We worked, didn't we? You worked, didn't you? They worked, didn't they? He worked, didn't he? She worked, didn't she? It worked, didn't it? The same thing. I did not work. The sentence is used here past tense. So remove not and write it down. Did I? We did not work, did we? You did not work, did you? They did not work, did they? He did not work, did he? She did not work, did she? And it did not work, did it? So dear friends, I have shown you that how to make sentences of question tag. These are the pillar, these are the basic form of question tag. Now next, important table that I use here, modal auxiliaries. So suppose positive sentence and negative. In positive sentence, suppose dare is given, daren't, should, shouldn't, ought, oughtn't, must, mustn't, need, needn't, may, mayn't. But dear friends, when I use shall, so don't write shalln't. Please, shall, shan't, will, won't, can, can't, could, couldn't, would, wouldn't, might, mightn't. For example, shall. So suppose I give you one more example. I shall play cricket. Shan't I? Okay. I will play cricket. So will I not? Won't I? But suppose this sentence is negative. I will not play cricket. So will I? Don't say won't I. Okay. The same thing. If the sentence is about negative, then you write it down positive. Dare not, dare. Should not, should. Would not, would. Must not, must. Need not, need. May not, may. Shall not, shall. Will not, will. Cannot, can. Could not, could. Would not, would. And might not, might. So, most important to remember. If you remember this thing, then it is not necessary to remember all the things. For example, I am clever. This is positive sentence. And how can we make? Aren't I? So, I am, aren't I? So, first thing is you have to remember. For example, the same thing. I am not. So, am I? So, here question mark is necessary. First, the question tag word small letter begins with question tags begins with small letter. Another question mark is necessary, and aren't to be plus aren't. I am, aren't I? I am not clever. So am I? I shall sing. I shall. So what is negative of shall? Shan't I? I will sing. Won't I? Here you can see that I shall not. Shall I? I will not sing. Will I? I shall not sing. Shall I? I will not sing. Will I? So you remove not. Okay, dear friends. So each and everything you write it down in your notebook. Then we go further. Okay, now let's do practice all the tenses, that how to make question tag. The first one, present tense, do or does. See the first example, I write a letter, that is positive sentence, and we make negative of question tag. I write a letter. So what is the answer? I is given here, so don't I, that question mark. Another, he takes tea, so doesn't he. Don't use capital word here. Okay, I do not write a letter, that is negative sentence. Then how can we make positive? I do not write, so do I? He does not take tea, does he? That is the right answer. Okay, dear friends. Now second one, present tense, to be form, am, is and are. See, he is a good boy. He is. So negative, isn't he? She is not a good girl. Not. We should remove not and write is she. The statement is positive, then question tag is negative. Statement is negative, then question tag is positive. We are fat boys. We are. So aren't we? They are not. Remove not. Are they? So that is the right answer. Now see, present progressive tense, am is are plus ing. She is sleeping in the class. So here ing form is used, but don't write ing form in question tag. So you just see that only she is. So isn't she? Question mark. We are not eating now. Not remove. Forget about ing. Are. So aren't. What is subject? We. Okay, dear friends. Now see, present perfect tense, have or has. I have purchased a book. See here, have I. So what is negative of have? Haven't I. They have not bought books. Remove not. Focus they have. So they have not. So have they. Okay. Now past tense. Rahul went to school. That is positive. Then we are going to make negative. So went. So we use didn't Rahul. So here we write he. Don't write it down Rahul. We have to use pronoun of the subject. Next one. He did not speak English. Did not. So we use did. He did not. So remove not. Did he. Next. Sonal was not learning. Not learning. Was not. So remove not. Write was she. Remove subject and use pronoun that. He was listening music. So was, wasn't he. Now past perfect tense. We had sung a song. We had. So hadn't we. Mukesh had not. So had Mukesh. That means pronoun is he. Next, future tense. I shall buy a car. I shall. So what we write? What is the negative of shall? Shan't. Very good. I shall. So shan't I? I shall not buy a car. Negative sentence. So shall I? You will succeed. Will is given here. So won't you? You will not succeed. So right answer is will you? Okay. Next, modal auxiliaries. They can win the match. Can is given. So can't they? Mukesh should not follow the rules. Not is removed. Mukesh should. So should Mukesh. That means he. Monica could get up early. So could. So right is couldn't Monica. That means pronoun is she. He could not get up early. Remove not and write could he. Okay. Now you write it down in your notebook.